Welcome back to a sporty slice of Japan. To get to today's car, you're going to need the Forza Horizon 5 Car Pass. Unfortunately, it costs a bit extra on top of the base game. But today we are taking a look at the 2019 Nissan 370z Nismo edition from 2019. This thing boasts 350 brake horsepower, 276 foot-pounds of torque while weighing just a shade under 3,390 pounds. You've got the 2010 version of the Nissan 370z in this game, and I've got to say that does look good, but I do prefer the Nismo, especially with the Nismo styling at the front, especially a little, kind of dash of colour. Going to the side, they kind of reworked it a little bit, and then going to the back, they've done a brilliant job redoing that rear bumper. Going to the inside now, it doesn't look too far away from the regular 370z. We've got some dials over there, we've got some dials in front of us, and now let's go ahead and take a listen to this thing's engine. I've got to say, it does sound very, very cool indeed. Now let's jump over to conversion, over to engine swaps to see what we have this thing. We've got 5 different ones to choose from, including the 6.2 litre V8. We've got an option for a 2.6 litre inline-6 twin turbo. We also have the option for a 3.8 litre V6 twin turbo, the racing 3 litre inline-6, and of course the racing 7.2 litre V8. If you want, you can also go ahead and make this thing all-wheel drive, and I think we'll do that a little bit later on. This thing's stock is naturally aspirated, but if you want to go ahead and chuck on some twin turbos or chuck on a supercharger, then you can do that too. Now, last time we took a look at a 370, it was the Safari Z with all of its fancy bodywork, but well, the 370z Nismo has something even nicer, because if we go to the front bumper, we've got a couple of Nismo options. This one kind of looks a bit like the original, 370z in the game already looks like. We do have a secondary Nismo option as well, but we've got ourselves a little bit of a Varis body kit for this thing. Going to the back, we have a couple Nismo options for the rear wing. We also have the Big Country Labs big wing, and of course we have the Varis wing as well. Is it Varis? Is that how you say it? I don't know. Going to the rear bumper, we've got again 2 Nismo options right here alongside the extra Varis kit too. It's pretty much the same story for the side skirts, of course, again the 2 Nismo options and a little extra here. And then going to the bonnet, we've just got one extra option, and that is to have the Varis kit, and well, that's an entirely kitted out 370z. Although in the meantime, our wonderful mechanic has been very busy putting together a little A-class road build for this thing, so let's go ahead and bring up the share code very, very quickly. There it is, feel free to go ahead and grab that for yourself. We're going to go ahead, download and install, and see what we got to work with. So with those upgrades, we're now right at the top of A-Class A800 with 364 brake horsepower and just a shade under 2,700 pounds, a lot lighter than before. So the race build now applied, let's go ahead and take a look at the paints. Going over to advanced side, we've got nothing there. Going over to manufacturer colours, we've got the option of just 2, which is a little sad to be honest. I thought it'd be more. Now, while I've not had the chance to see a 370z in Nismo specifically in person, I have had a chance to see the 370 itself in person, and I've got to say it is a very, very cool looking car, and I even got to sit inside a Cabrio 350 as well. In the meantime though, let's go and take the Nismo and see if it races just as good as it looks. And away we go. We've got an RX-8 to our right over there. What do we have behind us? We've got a Porsche something, I'm not too sure which one that is, but let's go ahead and try and see if we can take this thing from 9th and finish in 1st. Right, turn number 1, we're on full slick tyres in A-Class. We're a little understeering in places, but it's not enough to take us out of the running just yet. If anything, it's made us get closer. Right, let's try and see if we can make up some ground on the Eagle Speedster over here. It's quite an interesting car, that kind of like a resto modded to Jaguar E-Type. Either way, into this little turn we go. Oh, that's 4 wide. Right, there we go, a little late on into the race now. We're now in the top 3. Can we make it to 1st place? We can. That was actually really, really easy. I'm surprised. Well, I've had a look at some of the numbers for this thing, and I've got to say, if you want to find one in the UK, you've got to be really, really lucky, because there are approximately 10,000 worldwide, and out of all those 10,000, there's only 100, and I believe 166 are licensed on UK roads right now. And if you happen to find one for sale, then it's going to be very, very expensive, because at the moment on Auto Trader, which is one of the UK's leading used car websites, they go from anywhere between 15 to 30,000 pounds. Which is this in US dollar, by the way? And no, I've not been sponsored by Auto Trader, but man, I wish I was. Anyway, 95% through the race, so one more turn to go. The finish line's right there. We are in a very comfortable 1st place, and across the line we go, looking good with a very, very good 1st place and an even better time of 2 minutes 10. Now, I've got to say that was a very, very good race indeed, especially for us. And now we go from racing cars to voting for, because for this week's backstage vote, it does get very, very interesting. On the left, we've got the Lexus LC500 and the 1995 Toyota MR2 versus the Ford Mustang Liberty design and the GMC Cyclone. And I've got to say these are 2 very, very good matchups, but I've got to say the MR2 is just too good. I can't not vote for it. Come on. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. And for those of you that want a Toyota Chaser, that's now in the backstage too. And now we turn our attention straight back to the 370z Nismo because Mac has made another tune for us. This time it's drag racing. So let's go ahead and bring up the share code once again. There it is. Feel free to go ahead and get that for yourself. We're going to go ahead and do the same. So with these upgrades, we're now sat at just a shade over £2,700 with a whopping 1,356 brake horsepower. This thing's about to be mad and also moderately concerning. Right, here we are now over at the back of the festival. Let's go ahead and see, do we get a wheelie check from the 370Z? Yes, we definitely do. Can I understand that Super 7 card? The answer's no, but let's go ahead and get ourselves onto launch control because here we are now over at the edge of the drag strip. Let's go ahead and get going and see what we can do. £2,700. We are rear wheel drive, but we do have 1,356 brake horsepower. What can we do with the Z? Let's go find out. Through the camera at 205 and then off the end of the drag strip at over 230 miles an hour. And by the time I get it stopped, we're going to be in Forza Horizon 7. However, now it's our turn to have some fun with this thing, so we're going to jump straight to conversion. We're going to go ahead and slap in the big old 2JZ. There it is. We're also going to go ahead and slap in some all-wheel drive while we're at it. And let's aim to try and make this thing a really good top speed build. And while we're at it, we're going to go ahead and make this thing lighter too. Also, better tyres. Don't mind if I do. Also, I've just realised the red on the edge of these tyres match up very nicely with the red accents on this thing. Yeah, that looks alright. Although now the fun begins of trying to tune 1,300 brake horsepower into a 6-speed gearbox. Oh dear. In the meantime, here is this week's Forza shop. We've got ourselves the Aston Martin Vantage S, a Horizon backstage pass. We've got the Bear Sundress over here. We've got a Bentley Continental Super Sport, so I've got to say, quite a nice car to drive. We've got a Bear Cap up here as well. We also have ourselves the Horizon Super Wheel Spin alongside the regular Horizon Wheel Spin. And now, out to the motorway. In the meantime though, now it's time to go ahead and continue the game of how close can we get to the motorway grade. Last week we got pretty much exactly a spot on, so let's go ahead and see how good have we done this time around. And we're gone a bit past it. Oh dear. Well, at least we got it last week. In the meantime though, here we are now over the edge of the motorway. Let's get ourselves once again onto launch control and away we go with the 370z Nismo. I've got to say, what a car indeed. It does look pretty cool. It also sounds pretty cool with its 2JZ engine swap in there. Let's go ahead and see what do we get for top speed. Hopefully something good. Especially since the 2JZ in this game is known to make cars pretty quick indeed. Right, out of the speed zone, 263.91. We've got the downhill and speed camera still to go. Let's go ahead and see if the 370 can keep on going. We're at 270 at the moment, but can we get quicker? Personally, I'm hoping we can. Right, the camera should be here. There it is, 270.85. Going downhill now, 272, 273. Do we get any more than 273? No, we do not. That was about the top speed of this thing. Right, there's the other sign. On the brakes we go. Can we get stops in time before that sign over there? Well, just about. Now, this thing's good at racing, drag racing, has a decent top speed, but how good is it at drifting? Let's go find out. Because it's time to take this thing around our favourite little drift zone up here, so let's go ahead and chuck in the 370Z and see how well it can do. 30,000 is kind of like our baseline of how cars are, whether they're any good or not. This thing's exceeded it, 38,835. We're also going to ignore how this thing stalled out in the back turn. Whoops. So, 38.8k is the score to beat. Can we do it? Let's go ahead and chuck this thing in and see if we can beat that score. How is round number 2 going to look? As it turns out, pretty well, 39,246. Barely beating run number 1, which doesn't happen often. So you know what? I'd say the 370z Nismo is actually not half bad at all. Is it worth buying the car pass? Maybe, maybe not, because then again you do have the 2010 version of the 370z, which does pretty much the same thing this does. I think the only difference is you can shove on a Virus widebody kit on this thing. So I mean, if you want to do that and you want to add another car to your collection, then by all means go for it, but other than that, I say stick with the one in the game. Which is crazy, especially after I just made an entire video about how good this car is. In the meantime though, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. And like usual, like I say every time, thanks for watching. Tech out. See ya! Right, what car next Friday?